Hi there, and welcome back to 10 Minutes of Astrology. My name is Shannon. I've been an astrologer for over 15 years. I also practice tarot, palmistry, stichomancy, and other awesome things. So, right now, we are going to be talking about the full moon happening on August 1st, 2023 in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's going to be about 2:30 in the afternoon, and the world time it will be about 6:30 in the evening. So we are going to pull up the chart, point out a couple of things that really stand out, come back out and discuss it. Where is the full moon? I will show you. The sun here is in Leo at 9 degrees, and the moon down here is also at 9 degrees in direct opposition. Something else that I want to point out is going to be Mercury up here at 5 degrees, and this will be in opposition to Saturn at 5 degrees in Pisces. I want to discuss Venus over here at 26 degrees, and this is going to be in conjunct Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees. One other thing that I want to discuss is Mars at 13 degrees of Virgo, and this is trine Jupiter and Taurus at 13 degrees. So let's back out and discuss what all of this means. So I won't get too in depth in the sun, but the sun in Leo is in its home place. We've got the summertime good vibes. The moon in Aquarius is a very awkward place for the moon to be in. So if you feel silly, a little giddy, if you're just being quirky, if some things are just coming out of your mouth or you're saying things to your friends that you kind of wouldn't normally say, this is the spirit of that. So let's talk about Mercury in Virgo opposition Saturn in Pisces. Mercury in Virgo is considered a home placement. What I mean by home placement is that is the sign that overrules that planet. Mercury is about smaller communications. Virgo is a very tedious sign. They are detail oriented. So it's the details of the conversation. Now this is in opposition to Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces is not thoughtful and precise conversation. It is emotional and it can be irrational. So we have a pull of letting your feelings get in the way of facts, or the fact that your feelings are not being addressed. Because Virgo is not very comfortable discussing feelings methodically. They are very critical, whereas Pisces just about can't take any criticism. So watch out for that. And we are going to discuss Venus in Leo in conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So while Neptune has been in Pisces, every time Venus comes here, you will be seeing this. And it only happens about once a year where Venus is in a place to be in conjunct Neptune, but this has been happening about this time every year for the past 7 years or so. And what I mean specifically is the impact of the degree when Venus is in conjunct Neptune, because it does take Neptune between 13 and 14 years to transit a sign. So now that we are in these later degrees, you are seeing later effects. So I'm going to use an example of 10 years ago when Neptune was transiting the beginning degrees. The in conjunct had a much more solid effect and a different type of effect than it does now. So that's why the past 7 years, while it's been in these later degrees, you will have seen the inconjunct at play just in a different way than the rest of the transit. Regardless, Neptune in Pisces is in its home placement, and with that, it's comfortable in the ethereal, the spiritual, really diving into that aspect of existence. Whereas Venus in Leo is like this big, bold, broad lover, and just it's excited to have all these different relationships, and especially these career relationships. But the issue is, during this time, you're going to see more of a conflict between your spirit and your career interests or your relational interests. There's going to be a conflict because the relational side of you and of other people will want to develop these relationships and be excited about it. And then the flip side to that is that there are going to be people, or how you will feel is that internally you have this ethereal, spiritual, moral battle that you're kind of going through, and those parts of life are conflicting at this time. So an inconjunct is an irritating aspect. It's not as hard as a square. It's certainly not as good as some other things that it could be, like a sextile or a trine. And with an inconjunct, it just doesn't sit right. So your spirit and your relationships, things are not sitting right. Okay? Now we are going to talk about Mars in Virgo. This is trine Jupiter in Taurus. I love this, even though these planets are not comfortable in earth signs. The trine makes it more forgiving. So Mars in Virgo, people are usually very focused when it comes to the work that they have to do. They are extremely detail oriented. Jupiter and Taurus people, they're going to be the loudest in the room. They're going to make sure that they are heard. However, if you don't have those planets in those signs, how is this going to necessarily affect you? Well, this is a good trine, especially for people who have a whole lot of earth and water in their chart. Now, Mars being the detail-oriented, trine this, big, fun, loud, intelligent communication, there's going to be just sparks of enlightenment and just things that you had never really explored before, especially in work, where you're going to be able to take off and share your ideas and possibly even be heard in the work environment. So this is very good if you want to have a conversation with your boss. Now would be a great time to ask about a raise, to ask about that promotion, to ask all the questions that you need to, and do it in a fun, lighthearted, positive way, and you're going to get that fun, lighthearted, positive response. So I am done here. I know it's been a short 10 minutes, but you are welcome to book a personalized horoscope reading with me if you so choose. I always ask to do birth charts first. I do free readings as well. Reach out and ask me about that. If you have any questions, when you reach out, I would likely ask you to make an appointment, and that is normal. I book approximately 6 weeks out because I do have another job, and I like to ask for time off, so that way I know whatever it is that we schedule, I will have time for you. And yeah, just, keep doing you, keep loving, keep lighting, and follow, share, subscribe, etc. I know everybody hates hearing all of that, but it'll let me know that this actually matters. So thank you for watching. Peace out, fam.